So there's this debate going on that's been spanning basically the entire Smash scene because it kind of affects everyone. And that's with Project M and how they're considering making auto L cancel the standard. I don't exactly remember who was the root of this argument or who started this whole discussion. I don't know if it was Pandarian, maybe it was Fiction, but I saw it on Twitter and I just thought I'd give my 2 cents on it. So now I think it's important to acknowledge my Smash history so you can kind of get where I'm coming at this perspective from. I played Melee and Brawl casually when I was younger, but at some point I found out about the competitive Smash scene. I think it was like Apex 2014 or 13 or something. So then I started learning how to play Melee competitively, like learning how to wave dash and L cancel basically. A couple months later, Smash 4 comes out and I play that exclusively. And then like 6 months before Ultimate came out, I decided to play Melee again seriously. I played Ultimate up until about 2 months ago, and then the past week or something I've been playing Project M. I say this because I think I understand both sides of the Smash community. Now I will admit that I'm not very good at Melee, I just know basic tech and how the game works at a very fundamental level. But this was mainly just to emphasize that I do have experience with both games. Now let's get into the actual video. What are the arguments for making L cancel or auto L cancel legal? The main one I hear is that you always want to L cancel and you never don't want to L cancel. I hear a lot about it being an arbitrary execution barrier. Now I understand the sentiment, but it isn't completely universal. Now what do I mean by this? You can easily apply that argument to other tech in the game, like stage teching, for example. You always want to stage tech. You don't ever want to bang against the wall and fall to your death. You always want to stage tech. So should we make that auto stage teching legal? Now you may argue that that takes skill and timing and stuff, but you can make the same arguments for auto L cancel. I understand that you're L canceling way more frequently than you're stage teching, but this is just to explain that the argument isn't completely sound. Another argument I hear is that you always want to L cancel, but this isn't actually true. There are some situations where you don't want to L cancel, or actually you don't want to land with shield to be more precise. For example, if you're trying to L cancel after you auto cancel, you're just gonna do the aerial and then land in shield, and then like you have like 14 frames to get out of shield. I don't know if that's actually 14 frames, I just made up a number. So you have to be really aware of how your aerials work and how they function and work and interact with how you use them. Same thing goes for edge canceling. If you try and L cancel after you edge cancel, you're just gonna air dodge weirdly, and that's not gonna be good. L canceling adds another layer of awareness to your gameplay. Also, this is for Melee mostly, and this may sound kind of weird, but making the game harder actually nerfs some characters. Like I believe I heard Armada say one time on like a Twitch stream, I'm not going to be able to dig up the VOD obviously, it was a very long time ago. He said that Fox would be much stronger in the game if auto L canceling was in Melee. One of the things that actually nerfs Fox is how hard he is to play consistently, so removing some execution hindrances from Fox, I don't know if that's the right word, we'll just go with it, you know what I mean. So removing that from Fox would make him way easier to play with. I know in Project M, Fox is a lot weaker anyways, so this might not be as big of a deal, but having a higher execution cap could actually balance some characters. Just something to think about. Which brings me sort of to my next argument, which is, health. Now, I've truly been blessed to have really good hands. I've never really gotten a hand injury, only after practicing tech and Melee for like a couple hours, or playing Melee for a couple hours do my hands start to feel a little bit stingy. But yes, I would never say that I have hand problems. That's just inaccurate. But I can understand and empathize with these people. Having to constantly click the L button has probably led to a lot of people's hand problems, such as Musik and hacks. It also doesn't help that the GameCube controller isn't the most ergonomic controller in the world. So yeah, I can totally understand the sentiment. There wouldn't be that Musik going to the doctor meme, potentially, if L canceling didn't exist. Hacks Money wouldn't have to use the Smash box. I think Kira from SSBM tutorials also had hand problems, and he wouldn't have hand problems potentially if L canceling wasn't the way it is. So yeah, I can totally understand the sentiment. Some players really want to play this game, but physically cannot. This is a perfectly reasonable case, and I don't really have any objections to it. This brings me to my next point, and that's people will start playing the game a lot more if auto L cancel was in the game. And this one I'm kind of 50-50 on. I'm not really sure, because L canceling itself is pretty easy. Like you'll get used to it after like a few months. I'm already pretty used to it. I don't L cancel 100% of the time, all the time, but it is a pretty good majority of the time. And I am by no means like actually good at this game. Like I would probably go 0-2 if I went to a melee bracket. Well, depending on where I go, but with most melee if I went to a melee major, I'd go 0-2 for sure. People just understand the ebb and flow of the game better than I do, and the little nuances and the differences in that game compared to Smash 4 and Ultimate. Cause like I kind of play this game like I'm playing Smash Ultimate. I like to space my aerials really well instead of like having shield pressure, and yeah, anyways. Your main concern should be actually learning the game, and then once you actually learn the game, you'll probably be really good at L canceling anyways. There's actually way more tech that's much harder than L canceling in Project M, like wave landing and wave dashing, shield dropping, ledge dashing, crouch canceling. Like these are all techniques that have way more nuance and have way higher of a learning curve than L canceling does. So do I honestly think that people will start playing the game a lot more if L canceling was legal or the standard? I really don't think so. I think that, you know, I know that some people for sure will start playing more, but I even held a poll on my Twitter. It didn't really get that many votes. I mean, this video will probably get more votes. Well, this video will probably get more views than that Twitter poll had votes in the first hour. But I asked you guys if you guys would play Project Plus seriously if L canceling was the standard, and most of you guys said yes, but I really don't think that's true. Like, it is absolutely not L canceling that's keeping you from the game. It's the fact that the games are so diametrically different. That is what's keeping you away from playing Project Plus. It's not just the wave dashing, not wave dashing, L canceling. That might be part of it, but let's be real, it's because the games are different. L canceling may make the game have a little bit less steep, opposite of steep, I can't words right now, a little bit less steep of a learning curve, but there still is a huge learning curve, especially when you're going from Ultimate to Melee. On a side note, I actually do have a video called What Melee is Like for a Smash 4 player if you want more detail on how the transition is. So yeah, as someone who's played both and transitioned from Smash 4 to Melee for a bit, I can say that there's a lot more you should be worrying about than just L canceling. There is one thing, however, that people aren't really mentioning in regards to L canceling, and this actually does make a difference. I'll try to make it as simple as possible, but it's kind of jargon heavy. When you get hit out of your shuffle, which is like a short hop fast fall aerial, if you try and tech when you're being hit within your shuffle, you won't be able to tech. This is because when you hard press the L or R button, you're able to tech, right? You get knocked into the ground, and then 20 frames later, or 20 frames before you get knocked down, you're able to tech into the left, the right, or neutral tech, you know what I mean. However, if you're put into a situation within those 20 frames, for the next 40 frames following, the game will not recognize another tech input. So essentially, pressing L or R for an L cancel or wave dash means you won't be able to tech a delayed knockdown. This is a really advanced use case, and most people won't even notice this is a thing, but it is something that people can exploit. If you know they're gonna land with an aerial, and then you hit them before they land, you can basically get a confirmed hit after this. Now, something like this wouldn't be possible with auto L canceling, so this is like the one actual application of how L canceling affects the game. So now, what's the verdict? What do I think? Honestly, I think that it should be legal, or maybe not legal, it should be the norm to have auto L canceling. And this is because of the health issue, more or less. I think that players' health for the longevity of the game is very important, and I did say that most people won't even play this game just because there's auto L canceling, but some people might actually decide to give it a try for the first time ever, and then if they do that and then they eventually, you know, they relearn how to play Smash, basically, and they start playing this game and then they enjoy it, then hey, we got another player. Again, I don't think the learning curve is actually that much less steep just because there's no L canceling, but more people will be willing to try it just because they think that the learning curve is less steep. So those two benefits over the one detriment that I just mentioned, it's not even a detriment per se, it's just like a way L canceling interacts with the game. You can think of it as an advantage or disadvantage. All signs, in my opinion, pointing towards auto L canceling being legal. But of course, this is just my personal opinion. Let me know in the cards if you would play Project Plus if they had auto L canceling as the norm. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, how this situation should play out. And yeah, that'll be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Alright, peace.